New 72 Radio, the voice, views, and visions of the collective.
Well, good morning on this wonderful fall morning in Charleston, South Carolina, where our temperatures are steadily in the 50s, and we're finally able to wear sweaters and feel a little cozy in front of fires. And with me today, I'm Lynn Young, and I have Stela Susac-Pavic, the doctor, to my to my left, Stella, and on my right, Rebecca Shaw, my therapist, down in the corner. And today we're going to talk about the season that we're in, the season of thankfulness, and where we are each with how we feel about gratitude and how gratitude shows itself in our lives. So to start us off, and we are having feedback, we're having some technical interferences today, so bear with us if you're getting it. We're going to try to manage it somewhat. But I looked up thankfulness and thankful and gratitude, and just to give us a foundation for conversation, there seems to be a difference between the two. Thankfulness, or being thankful, is a consciousness of our awareness of benefits that we have received. So thank you very much for joining me today, ladies. I'm happy you showed up. Thank you for the rain that's taking care of the flowers, and thank you for my whole family. I'm really happy they're there, and I'm aware they're there. But gratitude takes it a little further. It's the thoughtfulness around that, being thankful and being aware of, once I have received something, what else happens in my life around that. So, for instance, if there was a situation and I was given something, for instance, a bag of peaches. If somebody brought me a bag of peaches, I would say thank you very much. But then I might realize, oh, these peaches are delicious and they nurture me and they feed my body and I get sugar that I don't need to eat, and they're yummy and I'm happy from it. So then I'm grateful. And there's a gratitude about somebody being thoughtful for me, and further benefits that I derive from eating the peaches and having a full circle of being thankful. So I'll differentiate between the two by saying that thankful is a conscious state, and great gratitude comes from that being consciously thankful and recognizing the more benefits that we receive from that. And I was thinking too, something we want to discuss today is about how that affects our health. How does being thankful or grateful affect our health? And I am really grateful for my excellent health. And I realize that that health is there for several reasons. One, I'm able to get the right food and nurture myself. But I am actually grateful to myself for paying attention to my own food and my own exercise and what I feed my body and how I take care of my body, because I have excellent health as a result. So it really comes back to us nurturing ourselves and being careful with ourselves and being grateful that we're able to do those things. Even if we don't have, if there's some issues bothering us, like I got a cold last week or 2 weeks ago, and had to take care of myself in a different way, then I was really grateful to the medical doctors who helped me, and that's being Stella is my doctor. And finally we did something about it, and I feel a lot better. So I took action. I was the one who made the decision to move forward and do something about myself. So there's that whole aspect of being grateful, being thankful, and being responsible. So there's a responsibility that comes in our own health and how we feel. So as we go on, I just like to ask you both about gratitude and the season that we're in. So just give a little bit of your thoughts about that. Rebecca, would you like to to, weigh in on this?
Yeah. I want to start with sharing a little history about the whole concept of gratitude for me. It's interesting in the Christian culture, when you sit down for a meal, you say gratitude for your meal. So in some cultures and in some religions, this whole concept of gratitude is incorporated into the philosophy of everyday life. And then some of us don't necessarily have that. We all understand cognitively that it's important to be grateful for things. But I may have mentioned on other shows that I grew up in a home with an agnostic and an atheist parent. So I had to find my own way to higher meaning in life. And probably about 12 years ago, I joined a women's group online, and we would meet once a week, talk for about an hour and a half, and we would always start the meeting with each person going around, each woman, and just saying one or two sentences for what you were grateful for. And I distinctly remember when I had chronic fatigue. My marriage was in crisis. My son had just gotten a diagnosis. So life was pretty stressful. And when it got to me, that first meeting, I will honestly admit, I thought, what am I grateful for? And I just made something up. And every week we'd do this, and I'd have to say something I'm grateful for. And then probably about a year later, you could have given me the whole hour and I could have told you things I was grateful for. So my point with sharing that story with people is that, interestingly, gratitude is a habit. And if you make it a habit, I do know this from the work that I do as a hypnotherapist and a mind scientist of sorts. There's a saying from a very old mind scientist named U.S. Anderson. And the saying is, what you concentrate on, you focus on, and what you focus on grows. So I do know that if you take time every day, start your day with what you're grateful for. Or for me, what's more valuable is when I lay my head on my pillow at night, I always say what I'm grateful for. And a lot of people have trouble sleeping because they go into worry mode. They go into what's not working and what they need to fix and how they're going to hit the ground running tomorrow. And I remember during those initial times, sometimes what I would say that I was grateful for was a soft pillow under my head at night and hot water in the shower. My favorite modern convenience is a hot shower. But man, gratitude begets gratitude. And the more you focus on it, the more I think you attract more things and situations and people to be grateful for. And then the other thing I'll say about it is I do listen to a lot of the law of attraction and Abraham Hicks, and she talks a lot about in relationships, focusing on what pleases you about someone instead of focusing on what annoys you. And the more you focus on what pleases you, even in the dating realm, doesn't mean you have to accept a relationship that doesn't really fit for you or is less than I won't say ideal, but less than what you know you really want and deserve. But if I'm in the dating now, so what I do is when I go out with someone and there's things I really like, I call it gathering data. Like I just met a guy the other night and he's a football or sports fanatic. His whole life is sports, and I know that's not going to work for me, but he was so nice. And he offered to bring me and my daughter food for Thanksgiving. So I'm really appreciative of these things that I really like about him, even if he's not my ideal partner going forward or someone that I date for very long. I really can appreciate what I met and liked about him and say, yes, I want that. I want that. I'm grateful for that. And it really just makes life so much easier when you can retrain your mind to stay in a habit of gratitude.
Awesome. What I'm hearing, what I'm feeling is how word is a powerful. It's like a music. It's a stringed tune in our neurohormonal release that can cause a lot of positive or negative feelings in our life, and on that way put the whole attitude of that particular day and the life into the motion and action. What I'm hearing from you, Becca, and both from you, Len, is how that string, that tune of the word that we are saying, I would say I would actually go deeper, and I would say the thought that we are thinking. If you just right now pay attention, you will see that how you wake up with the thought you wake up. That's how this is like a start point of your day. So in that, and you can really change by God, we as a human, we were given the will and the power to recognize those thoughts, and on the way to control our words, on the way on which we string the tunes in our inner being, how to behave toward ourselves, as well as how to behave towards the people around us. So what I'm inviting everybody who is listening in, and myself, I need to remind myself, is that words are powerful. Words are music. It is very important, and it's not to dismine the meaning of the words of us and our leader like unimportant. They are extremely important because they string the tune on which, or vibration on which we as a people and a society are actually playing. And music could be rough, or music could be very, very nourishing in the term of the how we talk and how we speak. We do have a lot of family members on which we do believe that their intention and very often then actions are very good, but their words they're using toward the other people are damaging and rude. So they are undermining all the good they are doing, because those people need to fight the rest of the day or rest of the time against those bad feelings that they're producing in us. So I'm inviting you, all of you, as much as you can, when you are facing yourself, your own thoughts, to divert them to the thoughts of the thankfulness and gratitude, not to be harsh on yourself. Particularly the time of the Thanksgiving that is coming in front of us. And as soon as we say Thanksgiving, our souls, our face are smiling and it's happy, because we do remember all of those smell and the food and the nice talking between each other. And as you said, Rebecca, that just that memory and repetition of the gratefulness toward the small things is evoking and nourishing the flower in our soul that can really nourish and flower everybody around us. And we do have every morning that power to decide and says, I don't want you thinking your own thoughts about anything that is not going to nourish us in the term of that we are smarter people. When I say smarter people, I think the people who decide not to be evil. We do have that dual personality in us, and we get with no reason mad on ourselves or the people around us. But yes, we do have a power of the word, power of the thinking, in which we can divert even foggy fall day that is in front of us. We can see that that beautiful red flower for which we are thankful and grateful, that is giving to us to nourish us in this world that is heavy, that is full of the bad information. But we don't want to, we acknowledge it, but we don't want to give a lots of power to the negativity, because that's how we nourish those negativities in ourselves and in the people around us, and that's affecting our health. Len, when you says that you are thankful to yourself, that's the majority of this conversation that we should go. We should really be thankful to ourselves for the beautiful power that we have of the recognizing when and how and to whom we need to ask for the help. in the book, in the music, in the art, because those are the highest being of the humanity. This is where we're finding our motivation and gratefulness and thankfulness to go along with the mob of our life, MOB. Pardon if because there is a mobbing in our life everywhere. The name it. So this is why I'm very, very grateful. I'm grateful to the God from the bottom of my heart that gave me this power to think positively and return and invite all of the people to look in that being of us that is light and the love and the gratitude and the hope. And I do believe there's more of us to put their energy in that flowers, in that pot, the more we will be able to get rid or acknowledge, but not to get the power of the stupid and evil. That's what I would tell about gratitude. That's all I have to tell about that.
That's all actually, that's a lot to say, Stella. It's good. I like the passion that you use when you're talking about that, but it feeds right into something that I've been studying. There's a book called Dignity, and it's written by Donna Hicks, and she's worked carefully and consistently with Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And this book has so many pieces in it that really feed back to thankfulness and gratitude. And I'm sorry for some of the feedback, I'm hearing that. But I wanted to read a couple of things from the book about dignity, because what Donna Hicks establishes is that dignity is at the basis of every human being. It's a God-given right. And if in the middle of some grateful discussion or thankfulness or something, someone puts down another individual, then the dignity is harmed, and it can be hurtful, and that actually affects our health. I really want us to constantly go back to what does it mean to have good health, both in our thoughts and in our bodies. But I'll read you. He talks about working with her in war-ridden territories, like in Ireland and in apartheid, where he worked. It was the dignity regained that enabled them to face victims and be able to forgive people. It was dignity, the perception of worth in the other, that made reconciliation possible. So I want to read, dignity not only sustains, but also energizes and enables. It accomplishes great things. It lifts the fallen and restores the broken. When the recognition of the good in the other is shared, it is the sense of personal dignity given that can bring peace to situations of potential conflict. And this one thing that she quotes Goethe having written is, treat people as they want to be, and you help them become what they are capable of being. So even when we are talking about gratitude, and if, for instance, your story, Rebecca, of starting out that year and being so burdened with what you were carrying in your family at the time, both physically and as a parent and as a wife, you couldn't find anything to be grateful for, but you did. You said you made something up. And I think the energy of that goes out to the universe in a way that starts to bring back everything that we want, that we would like to manifest for our families and for everyone in our world, not just for us. So I think being grateful for being able to sit here in my chair and visit with the three of you, including Kelly, our producer. And I will say thank you, Kelly, for always showing up at 5:30 in the morning from Portland to help us, to understanding what's happening on Earth, and to recognize what the stars and the planets are throwing at us daily and minute by minute, physically on Earth, how we're affected by that, to thinking broadly enough that every person we meet on the street is part of our lives. And I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for the ones I don't want to be. And I'm grateful for the ones whose lives I'd like to emulate. And then I'm really grateful to learn from my daily situations where I make mistakes, where I have great results or successes, it brings me joy. All of it brings me joy. Even when I feel a sadness about something, I think, wow, but what did I learn from that? I learned something that is going to have me, hopefully, be more aware of a situation the next time. And it may not take me 2 weeks to realize something. I might know it in the moment. Then I can save time and save myself anguish. And then I will move forward at a rapid rate. I think the biggest thing that I'm doing right now, though, is listening to my own personal guides. And I'm really grateful for those. There are times when I've turned them off, times when I've not listened to my instincts, and particularly about this cold that I had 2 weeks ago. My instinct said, go start taking some of the homeopathic things that you are taking. And for a day I didn't. And I probably could have stopped it had I started that very day. But instead I started taking them. It warded things off, but I got worse and worse slowly until I had to call my doctor and say, something's happening and I need to address this. I did have the instinct to wake up one day after I'd tried for 5 or 6 days and say, you need help. And I listened and it said, go get help. So it's important for us to listen to our own intuition on every count. If you feel stress, if you feel heartbroken, if you feel joyous, if you feel excited about something, all of those times are times to check in and just see how you feel, what your instincts are telling you, which could be your guides, could be new people who come into your lives and they're giving you signals about things that you might do or you might not do. All of it contributes to finding joy and living and being grateful for all of that joy. So I would say I'm really grateful for everything I'm learning from all of you, including Kelly, in trying to run this technology. And from you, Stella, for helping me look at medicine in a different way. And because you listen to me, you trust me when I say, I don't want to take that pill, Stella. And you say, okay, let's find a different route. And then you tell me to go get something like aloe vera and take it. And I think, oh my goodness, she's talking to me from a homeopathic standpoint or for a natural medicine, and she's my MD. It's great to hear. And I'm really grateful, Rebecca, for you. You're beautiful, your wonderful smiling face, and your wisdom. You have extensive wisdom for somebody your age, and you will just check in and give me some of your wisdom, and it just opens a whole new world for me, and I'm so happy for that. I get a little teary about it. So anyway, I'm really grateful for the people in my life, and I think it's important. You all contribute to my health. I am healthier because I know you're there. I can call you if I need you. And so it's important when you're looking at your life around this Thanksgiving time that we do consider who are we grateful to have in our lives and what does that mean, gratitude.
Beautiful and nourishing as you are, as a person who connect us all on some mystic way. So, love you very much.
Yeah, I love
you.
On the end, look at this. On the end, the word of the love, powerful. And it's just an awesome word to share between us. So guys, be smart so that you are not bad person, because smart person is a constantly digging in its own soul and picking up those roots of the weeds, and this is our life. Our picking those bad roots from weeds from our soul, so the flower that are beautiful and nourishing and smile can take it over our thoughts and our words. Good luck for everybody with that. Okay.
Anything further, Rebecca? Would you like to add anything?
Just to encourage people to start a practice. Take 1 to 5 minutes a day and just focus on what you're grateful for. And when you're in difficult situations where you feel stressed, where you feel discouraged, where you feel challenged, reach for a thought of something in that moment that you could be grateful for. And you know, it will really shift things for you if you could do this, especially in those times when things aren't going your way. If you can find something to be grateful for. I remember one time I was driving, or I was in the car, my husband was driving, and my son was kicking the back of the seat relentlessly. And my husband was going ballistic, and I'm sitting there trying to think of something to be grateful for. And I said, oh my gosh, at least when he's older, he won't be my man problem anymore. It'll be somebody else's. So, you know, you got to sometimes have a sense of humor.
Yes.
But it can help. Yeah. So find things to be grateful for. And if you can find things to be grateful for when times are difficult, you got it made.
Good wisdom for all of us to have, Rebecca. And so as Thanksgiving comes up next week, on your Thanksgiving Day, whether you volunteer at a soup kitchen, which is very generous of people who do that, or whether you're around a small table of friends, or you're around a large table of family, make a point of thanking some of the people there, or saying something small or short or brief to show your gratitude, even quietly, individually, to those people, because you'll find it brings you joy, and it will bring them joy as well. All right, ladies, thank you. This was a really fun time, and next time we'll be on Facebook again, because maybe next time the connection will work. So we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
God bless you all.